Hey guys, welcome to another video. I wanted to take today as an opportunity, a learning opportunity. You see, one of the things that I like to do a lot is card tracking. I mean, you know that. You know that I love card tracking. You know that I like card tracking and card control. It's one of the things that I like the most. However, as I post videos related to card tracking and videos that demonstrate various techniques on card tracking, I've been noticing that there's a reoccurring theme. And that reoccurring theme is that although the vast majority of people love it, and they tell me that the videos are fantastic and that the tracking is great and all that, and I deeply appreciate that, there's always a very small sector of people who I wouldn't say that they're criticizing, I wouldn't say that they have negative intents. I think they're very nice, very sincere. The thing is that for some reason they just don't seem to understand the difference between false shuffling and real shuffling. And I get the comments where they're saying that I'm using false shuffles or that I'm using false cuts or that the shuffles are not real, because when I do card tracking videos I tend to say that you could see that this is a fair and honest shuffle. And I think that term, when I say that, this is a fair and honest shuffle, I think that's what throws some people off. And they're like, oh no, but that's not a fair shuffle, or that's not a fair cut, or whatever. And what I want to teach you today is that you can see the difference between real card tracking, real shuffles, or the illusion, let's say, of card tracking using false shuffles, okay? So if I say that the shuffles are fair and honest, it's because I'm really shuffling the cards. The cards are being mixed, you know. So if you see the cards being mixed together, it's a real shuffle. Because in a false shuffle, you know just as well as I do that you are not really mixing the cards. So if you are not mixing the cards, it's a false shuffle. If you are mixing the cards, it's not a false shuffle, okay? So I want to demonstrate today what the illusion, as one of my students calls it, the illusion of card tracking looks like versus real card tracking. Okay, so right now I have the red jack and the red ace, okay? So I'm going to take those cards and I'm going to put them into different parts of the deck. You can see that they clearly go into different parts of the deck. Okay? Now, the idea being here that I'm going to track where those cards are. So I'll give the deck a few shuffles, I'll give the deck a few cuts, and just like that, I should have been able to track the cards and control them to the top of the deck. There's the red ace and there's the red jack, okay? Is that real card tracking? No, that's not real card tracking, not at all. I'm taking advantage of the fact that you and I as human beings have the retention span of a goldfish. This is not real card tracking. All those shuffles and all those cuts were fake. They're false cuts, false shuffles, they're not real. This is card tracking with sleight of hand. Now, if you notice, this is a red jack and a red ace, but this is the jack of diamonds and this is the ace of hearts. What I showed you at the beginning and what I lost into the deck was in fact the ace of diamonds, and the other card that I lost into the deck was the jack of hearts. So if you notice, these cards are naturally occurring duplicates. Every deck of cards has them. This is naturally occurring duplicates. A lot of magicians take advantage of this, and it's beautiful, it's powerful, I love it. It's phenomenal that you can use these duplicates because they invert. To regular people, when you show them these two cards and 30 seconds later you producer show them these two cards, it's all the same thing for them. You know? So really what I did was that I showed you this pair, which I lost into the deck, and this pair I had on top of the deck. And through false shuffles and false cuts, I simply produce these. So I didn't really track them. I didn't do that. I didn't really track them. But that's a way that you see that you use false shuffles and you use false cuts. However, let's take a look at the deck here and let's look at cards that are not naturally occurring duplicates. You can't get those with naturally occurring duplicates. Let's say that I want to take the black aces, okay? You can see the black aces are in different parts of the deck. They're spread out, they're not in the same location. So let's say that I want to get those 2 black aces. I've looked at the deck, I see the cards that I want, and I'm gonna go for the 2 black aces, okay? So I'm gonna give the deck a shuffle. Now, you see how the cards are mixing? You saw that. You saw how the cards bridged. You saw how I'm squaring up the deck. You see that there's nothing poking out, nothing protruding out. Is this a false shuffle? No, this is not a false shuffle. It's not a false shuffle because if it was a false shuffle, the cards would not be mixing. If you see the cards mixing, I mean, look at this. You see that? How could that be a false shuffle? You see that? You see how the cards are mixing? How they're squaring up? This is not a false shuffle. This is a real shuffle. This is a legitimate, real shuffle. Okay? I'm going to shuffle the cards again because I'm actually tracking 2 cards. Okay? I'm actually tracking 2 cards. And people think that, no, you're not really mixing the cards. Well, I'll show you. Look at this. If I spread the cards out, you can see how I'm squaring everything up. I'm mixing the cards. This is not false. This is not a false shuffle. This is not a false shuffle. This is as real as it gets. Not false shuffle, okay? In a false shuffle or in false cuts, you do not mix the cards, okay? But in real shuffles, in real cuts, in real card tracking, you keep track of the cards with the math in your head, and you actually put the cards where you need them to go. So this is real card tracking, and I simply used mathematical equation, estimations, and different types of controls in order to move the cards to where I wanted them to move them. It's actually quite simple. You have to understand there's 2 things operating here. The first thing that's operating here is that I'm the best in the world, and the second thing that's operating here is that I know something that you don't. Anyhow, I hope this helps. I hope this clears up some questions, and you can see the difference between the illusion of card tracking and real card tracking. And if the cards are mixing, it's not a false shuffle. Trust me, guys, it's a real shuffle. No joke. I really do shuffle and cut the cards for real. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope that this was somehow helpful in clearing up those concepts when I say that I'm giving the deck a fair and honest shuffle versus a false shuffle, that you could see clearly the difference between one and the other. So I'll catch you all next week. I've got plenty of videos and shorts on the channel on different types of card tracking, and hope this helps. I'll catch you all next week.